Hi everyone, it's me, Teresa McKelvey from the Yarn Shop Around the Corner, and I was so excited to shoot this video this morning that I came in extra early. So it's an early morning sort of here for me this morning. It's a Tuesday, so I'm getting ready to open up for the week, and hopefully I'll have a lot of people come in and could talk to you about yarn and all the fun things. But this video is really not about what I'm selling, but more about what I am doing, which is sharing my love of fiber arts. And so I have a lady who came in, and she was telling me about her mother and how her mother was a knitter and how she just recently passed away and she just could not get rid of her needles and her case that she kept all of her needles in. And I said, oh, don't get rid of it. And I asked her, could we display some of her mother's things and her makes and some of her case? And so she was so generous and kind and said yes. And so I want today to talk to you a little bit about and introduce you to she went by Marge. Her name is Marjorie Claire, and I'm going to mispronounce her last Cardenio. I'm sorry. I know she told me how to pronounce it, but I can't remember exactly. I'll put my glasses on. She was born April the 14th, 1927, and she entered eternity May 20th, 2016. And this is her glamour shot. At 90 years old, she passed away, and she was still knitting up until her death. It said she learned to knit as a child and continued throughout her life. She was working on the pink piece and brown piece when she fell ill and passed away a few weeks later. She said, I had someone in the project so that she could secure them. My mom has 3 great-grandchildren, and she made 3 baby blankets, one for each of them for when they have their first child, and they're sealed in space bags. And this is from Miss Nancy Spiegel. She said she's a proud daughter. And I want to just show you some of these things. So, I don't know if you caught that. So, she made blankets so that her great-grandchildren will be able to have them as gifts to them. Children that she will never have actually met, she has already made blankets for. And so, I mean, just we talk about heirlooms that we hand down through generations and to others, but to know that someone in your genetic makeup, in your family, in your history, already loved you enough before you were even formed, and loved you enough to make something, to hand it down to you. That's your family. That's where you know we all want to know where we come from. But how wonderful and how absolutely sweet that she did that. So anyway, as you guys know, I'm a romantic, so I tend to really care about things. But you look at this lovely. Isn't this just lovely knitting she did? I love this one with the different yarn. Isn't that gorgeous? The beautiful ribbed effect. And then her daughter said that this was her favorite. She always loved to do this pattern when she was making baby blankets. And then now I want to show you her case. We actually have her knitting needles and her case. Her daughter was so sweet that she let me put it on display. She said she loved to keep her bag here with her circulars attached to it. And then it's this, I don't know if you can see, look at this long cylinder, and then look in there. Look at all her knitting needles. So she could just look and see what size she wanted. And she could put this right on there, take it with her if she was traveling, and had all of her knitting needles. Isn't that beautiful? That is just wonderful. It's just such a treasure to see and to be able. She's so kind that she let us have it here in the shop and be able to see some of these knitting needles. It's just, they're beautiful. I mean, I welcome you to come into the shop and check it out. Come in and look at her. She knitted till she was 90 years old, and I think that's the point. Is knitting and crochet. Not only is it a wonderful, calming, relaxing Um, very constructive things to do with your downtime, but also a way to relax. Um, but it's also a way to be so creative and express yourself. Um, and so I'm just so thrilled to be a part of this fiber arts community. I feel connected to Miss Marge, even though I've never met her in person. I'm now meeting her through her needles. I'm meeting her through her works. I'm meeting her through her intentions, and I feel like I already know a good bit about her, and I never got to meet her. And I feel like that's how her grandchildren, her great grandchildren, that's how people in her family will feel, because it's a legacy that has been passed down. I know that I have a blanket by my grandmother. My grandmother made for me, and it over the years, over so many washings, it had a little bit of a hole in it, and I had to go back and repair it. And when I pulled I pulled out the stitches, and took me to tears, because it's like, I know my grandmother made that stitch. You know, it's almost as if all of a sudden my hands were touching her hands. So I know that I'm very sensitive and romantic, and I tend to put a lot of importance on things, but there's not always anything wrong with that. Sometimes it's wonderful to be reminded, and to honor those who've gone before us, and those who have been in a craft and done something, and they left something behind. How absolutely wonderful and sweet is this? And I'm so thankful that Miss Nancy allowed us to put her items on display for Miss Marge. And, there's hopefully we're starting something in the Dadeville community with our little yarn shop around the corner, that we're putting an importance on history, an importance on legacy, an importance on our older community. Because though Lake Martin area, Dadeville here, is full right now, it was a sort of retirement place, and a lot of places where people have come and just to live a quiet rest of their life around the lake. And so nice now that we get to know some of their stories, meet some of them. And so I just wanted to do this little video to let you know that Miss Marge is here. Come check out her knitting needles. I bet it would tickle her to death to know that we're looking at her blankets and holding them and touching them. I'm so excited to be able to do this. This is what having a yarn shop is all about. Having a platform is all about, is introducing you to others and getting excited about fiber arts, and letting you see that it's more than just taking a hook or a needle and using yarn. You're creating something that can mean everything to someone else. So, with that, I just want to do one little segue to talk. The reason that I also met Miss Nancy yesterday is because I went to speak at her church about prayer shawls. And so I have a lot of prayer shawls here in the shop. I may do a video just on prayer shawls because they mean so much to me. I get so much out of them. I love them. I love to make them, and I love to get them. So, but really, that makes this video too long. So maybe next time we'll talk about prayer shawls. If you want to, leave me a comment. Let me know if you want to hear about the prayer shawls and see them all that I have here. And I hope that you all have a great day. I hope I see you in the shop soon. And come on by and read about Miss Marge. Touch her knitting needles, and take a look at her case, and share in the legacy of who in your family was a creator, and what kind of things that they created. Okay, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.